You know, you've heard it said, without police, who will shoot your dog when your grass gets too high? How about who will feed you to the dogs when your three buddies already have you pinned to the ground? We're going to take a look at something where you're going to think in your mind, oh man, nothing encapsulates or demonstrates the pathetic, sick, twisted, tyrannical mentality of American law enforcement more than the two videos that I'm about to show you. And unfortunately, some of this I can't show you, but I will leave the link so that you can see it for yourself. This first one right here, NYPD park cop tackles a 14-year-old migrant girl to the ground over what? Did she just get done committing a mass shooting? Did she just get done robbing a bank? Did she detonate something in a public place? No, she was selling fruit with her parents, and they don't allow that there. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to turn the volume down and you can take a look at it for yourself. The crowd actually gets involved in this. The next thing I'm going to show you is where these cops have this guy who's standing on his property, or was standing on his property, pinned down, and the canine handler lets his dog maul the man as he lays on the ground with his hands behind his back, complying while the cop's saying, stop resisting. It's all just complete insanity. We'll take a look at this first. I'm going to comment over it because I feel like if I let the audio out, it's going to grab the attention of the algos, and nobody needs that nonsense. Take a look at this. By the way, this is from the Daily Mail. This is being reported all over the place. There's some major outrage. So this cop named Davis, who's with the NYPD, he's a park cop, basically. He's got sergeant stripes, and he's trying to put the handcuffs on this 14-year-old girl. The crowd is going crazy. The crowd gets involved, tries to separate the cop from the girl. A lot of people in the comment section, look, he falls right there, which is hilarious. He has one cuff on one of the girl's wrists. And check this out. I can play this audio right here. Listen to this cop. Step back. Where was everybody else? I needed backup, man. That was a formidable 14-year-old girl. I almost had her. I was almost able to bring her to justice. Who does she think she is, selling fruit on the sidewalk? An NYC park officer was seen tackling a 14-year-old migrant girl to the ground over selling fruit with her family. Frightening footage showed the moment the unidentified officer, last name Davis, we see that from the screen captures, handcuffed the teen in Battery Park on Sunday as he tried to arrest the minor. A group of livid bystanders tried their best to pull her away from him while others shouted in protest. The unidentified migrant girl was allegedly selling fruit from an unlicensed cart with her family when cops intervened. Now, why do I have a problem with this? Because when you step up to an individual to buy a product from somebody, whether it's a pack of gum, whether it's a deck of playing cards or fruit out in the street, it is a voluntary, mutually consensual interaction where you know that there are probably dangers in buying fruit from a fruit vendor, but you're going to do it anyway. You don't need the government trying to keep you safe. You don't need the government issuing all these licenses, all these permission slips to people to do things that they have a perfect right to do in the land of the free, right? Land of the free. Anyway, NYPD first tried to detain the girl, then released her. Then Parks got a hold of her and tried to cuff her. That's when people started crowding around and trying to get the Parks officer off of her. You can see this right here. In one of these scenes, you can see his name badge pretty clearly. Last name Davis, D-A-V-I-S. The video of the chaotic moment starts with one officer trying to detain the girl's mother, dressed in a bright yellow shirt, while another attaches cuffs to her daughter's wrists. As both officers continue, the group of people start to yell at them while the girl screams and tries to break away. One of the person put their hands on the officer's arm before another cop. And I guarantee there's going to be an investigation. We got to find out who stepped in. Who tried to interrupt our tyranny? We're going to find out through facial recognition, and you'll be in jail by tonight. The man shouts at police, let her go. Another shouts, get a female officer, as the girl is pulled in one direction by the cop and another by a girl dressed in a black baseball cap. With only one handcuff attached to her wrist, the girl is seen being pulled in all directions as she screams in terror. More people then gather around the two as a woman in a black tank top grabs the child by her wrist and attempts to pull her out of the commotion. The officer keeps a tight grip on the minor before they both stumble to the ground and roll over each other on the concrete. The officer then rolls on top of her, and imagine seeing this. Let's say you're riding your bicycle through your neighborhood and you see on the lawn of one of your neighbors some big 220, 240 pound dude trying to tackle a little skinny girl. It seems like every instinct inside of you would want to get involved and break that up, even if you thought that this man was her father. Because just something inside of you says, you know what, this just ain't right. And yet you have a uniformed police officer doing this to a little stick figure kid. Talk about a coward. The mother, 32, is issued a desk appearance ticket or written order to appear in criminal court, while officials wrote up a juvenile report about the incident with the teenager. The NYPD told the New York Post that they were there to help assist the Parks Department officers who were getting assaulted by bystanders. Yeah, you don't want grown men getting assaulted and interrupting their assault of little teenage girls. You just don't want that. In other news, a Canton police canine officer is placed on leave after an incident involving the arrest of a suspect where the canine officer lets his dog maul a guy who's already on the ground in a compliant position. Let's take a look at this. Listen to what the officer says here.
What kind of dog you got? German Shepherd? She never tear that motherfucker up. Yeah.
The cop starts taking it personal that these people up here to the left are basically mocking his dog. And he can't stand it, and he calls for his other fellow police officers to arrest them on their own property while they stand on their own property, using their tongues to exercise their First Amendment right to freedom of speech.
Hey, I'm about to put this guy in custody. Hey, say one more thing to this dog. Tear it up. You're about to go in custody. Go inside, you're going to jail. Go inside. Hey, he's under arrest for taunting the dog.
He's under arrest for taunting the dog. He's under arrest for exercising his freedom of speech in America on his own property. Go get him.
Done.
Now look at that. They have him well in hand. They take him to the ground. There are currently 3 officers on top of one man. They have his hands behind his back. He's in as submissive of a position as you can possibly be. And he lets his dog go on him. I'm not going to play anymore. The name of this cop is Canton Police Canine Officer Patrolman Nicholas Casto. And he's been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. He lets his dog maul this guy. By the way, this guy's name is Kevon Conver, who gets charged with resisting arrest, which he wasn't, disorderly conduct, which basically that is he was exercising his freedom of speech, and obstructing official business. Kevon Conver. But he gets mauled. This cop, Nicholas Casto, lets his dog maul Kevon for 17 seconds while Kevon somehow manages the self-discipline, conjures the self-discipline to keep his hands behind his back while he's laying on the ground while this canine is mauling him. 17 seconds. I'm going to show you the aftermath right here. And again, I will leave the link to both of these videos so that you can see them in their entirety, but I can't show it right here. I'm going to show you the after effects right here. People are just freaking out about this. Wait till you hear what the... Stay tuned. You're not even going to believe what the cop says. Buddy, you fixing to live in a brand new neighborhood, in a brand new house, driving a brand new car, courtesy of the tax cattle, unfortunately.
Good boy.
You hear that? I'm going to play it back. Listen.
Good boy.
He praises the dog for mauling a man who's laying on the ground in a submissive position. One thing I forgot to tell you when I hit pause right here, the cop with the dog continued to say at least 3 times, "Stop resisting." And the guy absolutely was not resisting. You talk about an ironclad case. You talk about millions of dollars flowing out of the tax cattle in that area and into the pockets of this guy right here. And they're going to conduct an investigation when we saw the exact same video that the investigators are going to watch. And this guy's got the bad sense to praise his dog for doing something, for allowing his dog to do something absolutely evil.
Good boy.
There's this guy's. I don't know. I've not seen a picture of this guy, but here's a reflection of him right here, and he's awfully proud of himself. This guy is so demented that he commits a crime on camera and cannot restrain himself. He can't even bring himself to do the right thing. And by the way, this is another situation where are all the good cops? I thought there was just a few bad apples. You had a lot of cops on the scene and nobody dared to step forward and intervene and cut off the terroristic activities of the Thin Blue Line gang. I will leave the link to this video and I will leave the link to this video in the description below so you can see these for yourself. I apologize for not showing it here. You know what happens on YouTube, certain YouTube channels, specifically this one, and a lot of others when you just try to report the news. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already and you want to support this channel, you can do it for free. Just subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, give this video a like, share this video with everybody you know. If you want to support the channel further, go to my website, highimpactflix.com, and sign up for free to my email list. Grab a hard-hitting, conversation-starting design like this one right here, All Guns Matter from the store. Become a channel member, but more importantly, understand what your rights are. Know your rights and walk in your rights. If you don't exercise your rights, you will lose them. Remember, freedom is dangerous. The only thing more dangerous is not having freedom. I'll see you in the next video.